Good evening. Residents and traders who were forced to leave their properties after a major fire in Leicester 2 days ago say they still haven't been able to assess the damage to their homes and businesses. Hundreds of homes were evacuated after the blaze ripped through a factory in Belgrave.
I've got 2 elderly tenants upstairs and we've had to move them to family and friends.
Josh Ramji owns a hair and beauty salon. It's been closed since Thursday when a fire swept through a factory on Melton Road in Leicester.
This is my bread and butter. We're in limbo now. We're just here, and what do? We want to get on with it. We want to start repairs or get our businesses going, get the flats going, because the whole property is affected. So it's just shocking.
The blaze was next to a petrol station. Hundreds of people like Jamnadas Vasanji were forced to leave their homes. Most have been allowed to return, but Mr. Vasanji is staying in a hotel. Do you know how badly affected your property is?
As far as I know, all the windows and doors, glasses was shattered, and how much damage is done, I don't know. Because there was too much rain last night, and I don't know how much is effect inside.
Residents and traders say they want to return to their properties as soon as possible. The cause of the fire is still being investigated. The Environment Agency is warning of possible flash floods overnight and into tomorrow morning. The Met Office has issued a yellow warning of rain from midnight tonight. People are being advised to plan their journeys in case of heavy downpours.
The early hours of Sunday morning and then right through all of Sunday daylight, the remains of Hurricane Bertha come through the Midlands, and although the winds will be a lot lower, we're expecting to see perhaps 2 inches of rain in a 6 to 12 hour period. That's pretty heavy rain and could result in some flash flooding.
Firefighters in the region took part in a fresh wave of strikes today in a long-running dispute with the government over pensions. Members of the Fire Brigades Union walked out between 12 and 2 this afternoon and will do so again between 11 and midnight tonight. They'll hold identical strikes at the same times over the next week. The government has previously said strike action is disrupting talks and will damage firefighters' reputation.
We need to get something solved here. You know, we can't expect firefighters to work until they're 60. We can't go up ladders at 60. The public know that, we know that, and the government know that.
A 10-year-old boy from Silverdale in Staffordshire who has cerebral palsy is attending a rehabilitation centre this weekend after a major operation to help him walk without pain. Ben Badley's family raised thousands of pounds to pay for the surgery after it was cancelled by the NHS because of funding cuts. His father says he's now like a different child. Ben will be taking part in body strengthening and physio sessions to help rebuild his muscles.
It does make a big improvement. We've been down there once for his pre-op. Ben really enjoyed it, and they incorporate games into the physio, and they just enjoy having the time there.
On to football, and the new season has kicked off with our Championship, League One and League Two teams in action this afternoon. Birmingham City's first game of the season ended in defeat as they lost 2-0 away at Middlesbrough. Derby County secured 3 points at home to Rotherham. Wolves get their Championship season underway tomorrow at home to Norwich. In League One, Coventry suffered defeat after late drama away at Bradford. Meanwhile, Port Vale and Walsall drew. And in League Two, there were wins for Burton and Cheltenham and a draw for Shrewsbury. It was the final day of the Shrewsbury Flower Show today, where they commemorated the show that never was after it was cancelled following the outbreak of First World War 100 years ago. They've also been celebrating another centenary. The Brownies was formed a century ago, and one of the show's gardens was dedicated to the Girl Guides. Time now for a look at the weather forecast. Here's James Wright.
Hello there, good evening. Hope you had a good Saturday. I'm afraid as far as Sunday goes, we've got yellow warnings in force, not just for the rain, but also some very strong winds. It's all courtesy of what was Hurricane Bertha heading in our direction. Lots of cloud building through the night as the first bit of that rain starts to move in from the southwest. Temperatures down to 12 Celsius tonight, and then tomorrow morning we're in for a real bucket load of rain. And of course, we have had some pretty heavy downfalls across the region over the last few days, so we could see an issue with localised flooding. And then as we head into the afternoon, most of that rain starts to push a little bit further north, turning a little bit showery further south, but then the winds really start to pick up. Could see the odd gale force gust, and that with leaves on the trees could see the odd branch down and cause disruption. Once we're past all of that, things turn a little more autumnal over the next few days. Temperatures way down on where they ought to be, with sunny spells and showers. That's your weather. Here comes your pollen.
The Pollen Count, sponsored by Checkatrade.com.
Checkatrade.com.
Pollen-wise, with all the rain around, obviously low counts, particularly for grass, but there could still be issues with nettle pollen on the weed side, and we also have fungal spore counts at high. Have yourself a good evening.
That's it for now. We're back tomorrow evening, and don't forget you can log on to itv.com/central to catch up with the latest news and weather. For now though, enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye bye.